All right, and welcome everybody to yet another wonderful week of nothing but that has not been happening in sports, nothing going on. My name is Ed. Obviously, you guys know me as the Dad Hat, and with me, I have some wonderful people. But I'm going to first start with my good friend, the prospector, Mr. Patrick Larson himself. How are you doing, my friend?
Well, the Dad Hat himself, Mr. Ed Rivera. I'm
Yes,
doing
sir.
well. I hope that you are, and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And
I did. Same to you, my friend. Same to you.
it was nice. It was nice to spend a little time with family, and uh, I might have done a little Black Friday, Cyber Monday
Don't
shopping.
say anything because I want to talk about this because I also did some Black Friday shopping. I don't want to say it too loud because my wife is on the other side, but I did get some stuff. So but let's introduce our third member of this crazy bunch that we have going on at the Dead Hat Chronicle Sports Show. Oh, look at him, Mr. Mayor himself, wearing an old school hat right there with the Grizzlies. Oh man, Fresno Grizzlies, the tacos.
The
Yeah,
Taco
this was pretty
Throwdown.
cool.
I like it, man. What's up, Lynn? How you doing, girlfriend? All righty. So, Patrick said, he did some shopping during Thanksgiving, but I want to get to know how you were doing, my friend, Mr. Mayor, because you had yourself I'll say a pretty cool Thanksgiving, episode because you were hanging out, man. You were camping, my friend.
Yeah, we had a good time. We went camping in North Georgia, up in the mountains. It got almost too cold to sit out by the fire pit up there the last couple of nights. It was
It
really
did.
nice. Yeah, we had a good time though. We got to see some local places, eat at some local places, some fantastic food. Uh, just really good, really good time with family and some friends of ours from Florida that were up visiting in the mountains as well. So
I love it.
fantastic time.
That's awesome.
And he
Uh,
doesn't even tell me that he's coming to North Georgia. What's up with that, Mayor? I mean, really.
Daddy says, "Yeah, I'm going camping in North Georgia," and does not invite you at all. What
Too
kind of
too many
friend?
people to see in too little time.
Isn't that how always go happens, though?
Story of my life.
I know.
Hello from
Holsinger
the
said
chili
same
man
thing
himself,
earlier when
Mike Sellers. Look at these
Holsinger
guys, and
said the
Eric
same
wants to be
thing.
known as the was that baller shot caller. When you come on the show, maybe we'll give you a nickname, but until then, Eric, you're just Eric.
That's right. That's right.
How's
Yeah,
that?
Holsinger found out I was coming up to Ohio, and he's like, "You're in Ohio again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't have time to let you know I was coming."
It just happened. It just happened.
It just happened.
There you go. I love it. I love it. All right, wonderful friends of mine's. Obviously, we did some damage during Black Friday. I'm sure you guys did as well, right? You guys bought some hats. You guys, I want to know. I want to know what did you guys buy because I know I did. I bought some, and I got a list of the things I have here. But I want to know from you guys first, and from the audience as well. Which hats did you guys buy? Did you guys buy anything baseball related during Black Friday?
The only thing I got, I didn't actually buy anything Black Friday because I think I ordered it before Black Friday, but I got that Reed and Fight and Phil's hot dog hat. I had to get that one. There were some I had in the cart on Black Friday. Yeah, that thing's nice, isn't it? That stitching's really good too. It's raised up on there.
Yeah, it really is actually really good.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been inspired by the Hat History series, right?
No, not at all. I could not be. It could not. That had no bearing whatsoever on the fact that you show that hat.
The only one I think I did order one on Black Friday. I ordered that Asheville tourists.
The link I sent you.
Yeah, the link you sent me on the hippies hat. Yeah, I went up a size because they didn't have my size. Actually, I went up 2 sizes, so hopefully it's not going to be too big on me. But yeah, I like that one.
That one was a nice one. That was a nice one. What about you,
$15?
Patrick?
I mean, you could.
Dude,
15 or 19.
I wanted to get one, but not one of them had it in my size.
Yeah,
not one of them, and I'm like, oh. I almost got one, but like if they would have had it in my size, I would have bought one for $15.
Yep.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I was going to get some dad hats off of 47 because they had a pretty good sale going too.
I know.
I saw you got some. I had some in the cart, but I didn't pull the trigger. I got too many other things going on, and Rhonda will be happy I did not pull the trigger on those.
Did you hear that, Rhonda? He turned it down.
That's right.
Look at the comment already. I can't control so many hats. Aren't you kind of glad that you're not? If you're going to get in trouble, you're in trouble somewhere, like really far away right now.
Right. Well, she is just finding out that I ordered the one from Asheville. So.
Oh. And
but it was on sale.
How about
That's
this?
right.
I take full responsibility for that one because, I was the one who sent out the link, so it's my fault, Rhonda. So I apologize. I won't pay for it, but at least I gave you the bad influence. How's that?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mike Sellers, what's the over under on how many heads the three of you have combined? Well, I know how many I got.
I haven't done a count, but is he talking just baseball or everything?
Well, how about yeah? Because I have. Well, see, I have. If we're going to talk just baseball, that's still a lot. Yeah, it's still a lot.
Yeah.
And then Patrick has his beat by like about 2,000.
You think 2,000 is the number?
Oh no, well over that.
Yeah.
He had 2,000 by himself.
Yeah, I would say I have about 2,000.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I did
You
not
didn't
think
know
the
that?
numbers was that high. Wow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Over many years, yes.
Yeah,
Jeez,
he
I've
has
got a
well
shoebox full of hats compared to that.
That's a lot, dude.
That is
well over 2,000 hats.
Yeah,
No wonder. And you're going to continue with the MLB hat history for years to come because you have a lot of hats.
I do, and I've always tried to think of new ways that I can create content after I've gone through officially all 120 affiliated teams, and obviously I'm sprinkling in independent professional teams and collegiate summer league teams, and
you should join that. Was that one thing that they do every year that Lids does?
Oh, the Ultimate Hat Collector.
Yeah, you should try to. You should
I
try
thought
to
about doing it.
that.
But there are some people out there that, especially since I joined Instagram, that make me look like a small time collector.
Bro, you make us look like a small time collector. What are you talking about?
Well, but the thing is, it's not about the number of hats. What I like about this community is the appreciation for what you're getting.
Yeah.
And knowing about the hats. It's not that you just get hats. It's also that you know about the teams and you establish relationships with the teams. I mean, having been to stadiums with both of you, I can say firsthand that you were both celebrities and that you were both very well respected at the stadiums which you go to.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate what you're saying, but no.
Well, I mean, I did notice that you got quoted by a team yesterday, Mr. Rivera.
Oh, I did.
The dad hat himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
I did appreciate that one. That was pretty cool, though. I did like the hats that they brought out, though. The dad hats, So I was like, okay, all right, I'll see you guys. I like it. I like it a lot.
I was glad to see you get your flowers.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Phil, I have rookie numbers still on this one, man. I don't have that many stadiums like you. I know you got a lot of stadiums that you visited. I'm still in my rookie numbers on that one. I got to work on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably, gosh, I don't know. I'd have to say probably in the 50 to 60 total over the years.
Yeah.
If that.
First, you have to admit, head holders and anonymous. Yeah, that's true, Len. That is very true. I managed to pay my bills by not buying hats from teams that I haven't been to their team stadium. That's actually not a bad idea. I should do that. If that's the case, then I'll never get hats. But no, I have a good number.
Yeah, well, I'm well below rookie numbers in terms of the number of stadiums I've been to.
Yeah,
I'm well below rookie status. I mean, I just look at the timeline on Twitter or on X and just seeing the likes of Lynn and the likes of Zach and the likes of Donnie and Ed. I think you've got me beaten in terms of how many stadiums you've been to.
I don't know. You know what I am trying to do though? I am trying to get to as many North Carolina stadiums. That's my whole goal now. It's like now that I'm here, I want to get it to as many. I do want to get to the Down East Wood Ducks before you know.
Yeah, I'd
So I
like,
want to get
I'd like
to
to go
that.
by
Let's
there,
schedule to
too.
do that this next season. And
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in
yeah.
for
I'd
sure.
like to go to Kinston with you because I want to see that before they move to Spartanburg, since the mayor is using his influence to move them to South Carolina.
Yeah, right.
So,
Exactly. So I'm
so
all in on that.
let's do it.
Let's get that. Yeah, let's get that set
Yeah.
up. I'm definitely in on that, and I'm not so far from there. So, Eric, what's the money line odds on who's been to more stadiums between Patrick and Ed?
Ed,
I doubt it.
I'd put down Ed.
uh,
Make your money back.
Look at that. Look at that. You should get to Wichita. Look at this dude.
Yeah, that's on my list, definitely.
It is on my list as well. They're always adding more teams to North Carolina, so you'll never be done. So true, Lynn. Although, did you guys see that who is no longer another team that's no longer here in North Carolina? Gastonia.
Yes,
Oh,
I did see that.
I saw
did see
somebody
that.
comment about that, and I went to their page and saw like they had released the 2024 schedule, and I thought, did I miss something?
No,
So-
no.
Well, at the very least, they've at least kicked out the owner of the Gastonia franchise. So, I know that the owner is out of the league, but I don't know what they're going to do with that spot. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? It sucks because it was actually a pretty cool logo too.
Yeah.
It is.
Let's see. I'm on their website right now. I'm gonna check it out and see what they tell me. I think they've kicked out the team, but have said the team will play in Gastonia. They say they will.
That's what I heard too.
There is going to be a team playing in Gastonia, and like you said, the website has as soon as you go in has a 2024 Gastonia Honey Hunters schedule right there, right there.
Ed, a word of advice: I would not try to buy a hat.
Oh, I'm not
from them
buying anything from them. No,
because you might get Spartanburgered.
Oh, that's
right.
That's good. I already have a hat from them, so I'm good. I already have their dad had their black one. And actually, you know what? I didn't get it from them. Do you know where I got it from?
Where's that?
I got it from West Virginia.
Oh,
West Virginia at one point was
Yeah.
selling all of the other league teams, the teams
Oh,
in the
wow.
league.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so I bought a bunch of them from them.
Is that the same time that they were selling the Lexington Legends hats for like $10?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Because I picked up one of those. The one that I didn't have, I think I picked that one up. So
I got the Lexington Legends before, and then I also had when Lexington had that other team playing.
yeah, give me a minute. The genomes, with the Wild Health genomes.
I got
Yeah.
that dad hat from them.
Yeah,
The Wild Health genomes. Yeah,
Wild Health
exactly.
genomes.
So Phil loved he loved three loves the visit to Wichita.
I would highly recommend it. I mean, going to see the Prophet Brothers, and
Oh
of course
God!
we have an honorary.
Don't get
Prophet brother on
Eric
here.
started. Don't get Eric started on this now.
Well, we have an honorary Prophet
Yeah.
brother on here.
That is
The
true.
wise
I
prophet.
have been knighted. So
You have. You know
Wow.
what? I was there.
you were there. Yeah,
I was there. I experienced this.
And
that's right.
I was
firsthand.
I was there several days, Mayor, and I was never knighted. So
Wow. I wonder if I'll ever get knighted. Probably not.
probably. But
All right. So I want to give you guys exactly what I got. And then
Okay.
Patrick, I want to know what you got as well.
Mhm.
But I got lookouts. I got
good call.
two El Paso Chihuahuas. I got the Crossbones one, and then I got their slate with the Chihuahua head. I got the Flying Chanclas one, the gray with the blue brim.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I got the llamas, the hickory crawdads, the llamas.
That's a
That
must. That's a must.
Yep. So, of course, the rating, and then I got another Guardians that had khaki color with the wing G.
Is that the one that you were wearing in your promo video earlier today?
Bingo, that one.
Got it. Promoting the DHC Sports Show.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Uh,
That's a good
what's-
looking hat.
What is the oddest place you've seen MLB hats for sale? A gas station.
Loves.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Gas station. I've seen it.
Yep.
I've seen them at secondhand stores. I've seen them at the gas stations. I've seen them at TJ Maxx. I see them.
Ross.
Ross, yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of them, right? I mean, you can see a bunch of all those, like they're all over the place. So, I mean, I appreciate that, right? Because then it's on sale. So that's where I got a couple of years ago, about a year or two ago, I got the wood ducks that hat. Yeah, so that's where I found it. I have several cans of Knight's Ale at Charlotte game. I felt pretty knighted by the time I cut up here. That was good. Yeah,
Love that.
I bet you did. Speaking of beer, I got to give a shout out to my boy Eric Lichtenberg. Oh, look at you getting some more of that.
Yeah, this is my last one of the dad. So
I'm sure you can get some more around there.
yeah,
You're in
I get some
Ohio.
more. Yep.
But Eric Lichtenberg sent me another set of Dad Hat beer from Minnesota.
Nice. That was a good
Eric's
beer.
a good guy, man.
That was a great beer. Which, by the way, he also entered into the official league contest. So they haven't said anything on who won, has they? I didn't see anything.
No, I think that they're still probably reviewing applications or reviewing submissions.
I want to know because I want to know.
I know.
I wish
If it's an Eric Lichtenberg design, sign me up.
Yeah, if it's one of his, I sort of put a design, because I just was like what I would like to see, but I never put a design. So I need to trade with Donnie. Look at him, Eric.
I have Eric's box that he sent me that has the cutouts in the foam inside of it, and
that's Lichtenberg. This is Profit.
Oh, that's Profit. Oh, okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Wrong Eric. Sorry.
Too many Erics.
Well, I do need to trade with Eric Profit too, though.
So there you go. I like it. All right, boys. Now that we've done all the talking about, what we purchased. Hey, wait, hold on a second, Patrick. What did you buy?
I'll try to keep it summarized. I did. It wasn't on sale, but I did get the Rome Emperor's Marvel logo. I did get that.
Which one is their Marvel logo?
So they just got a new Marvel logo because they've changed their name to the Emperors. So they just released that on Black Friday. It's still a penguin, but it's kind of a Marvelized logo of the penguin. So
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So it's so I got that. I got a couple of the new designs of the Marvel. I got the Columbia Fireflies. I actually got that today, and I let the mayor himself know, because if you buy something Columbia Fireflies, I think it's almost international law that you have to let the mayor know.
I think they texted me before you did, but that's okay.
That's interesting.
Oh, did they? Okay. Well, good.
They let him know. They let him know. He's on speed dial at the store.
Well, when I put in the comments special notes about the order, you say shout out to the mayor, because
I get
if you want to get your hat.
There you go. He gets a free appetizer when he goes to the ballpark every time he gets somebody there. So it's an interesting Marvel logo.
It is. I kind of like it. I'll be honest.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I love that. That's the bright yellow one, right? Yeah.
Not for the Rome Emperors.
Rome. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Fireflies. Sorry.
No, the Rome Emperors.
Yeah, well, I got both, so that would make sense.
So how many total hats did you get?
6.
That's same as me.
Yeah, 6. I also got the the Iron Pigs Sunday hat. So the new one with the classic old Phillies.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah, that is very cool. I started to get one of those too.
That's a nice one. I think what I did for the 47 is that they were selling them, it was like 2 for the price of 1, really.
Yep.
So Patrick is up 2006 hats now.
Chili man, I'm trying to get up to the year like 2023. Let's go.
I just want to say to Phil, if he wants to come up here to Ohio, it's 22 degrees right now, and it'll still be that when I go to work in the morning outside.
That's gross.
So if he wants to trade with me on jobs, he's more than welcome to come to Ohio.
How much is it? Did it snow over there? Because I heard it snowed.
There was some snow on the ground outside when I pulled up here at the hotel.
Yep.
So yeah,
you can keep that down up there. Don't bring it down here, okay? Because I know you passed us.
The high tomorrow is like 33 or 34 or something.
Gross.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, even in the morning here tomorrow, it's supposed to be like 26. So I'm not looking forward to it.
Mike Sellers, nobody should want to be in Ohio right now, or for the next few months for that matter. 100%. Eric, we had 7.8 inches of snow on Saturday. Gross.
You have fun shoveling.
Yeah, they can keep that. I didn't bring my shovels with me when I moved down here. I left them in the old house, so they can keep that up there.
Not missing Cleveland at the moment, huh?
No, not at all. Not one bit, my friend. One bit.
It's now calling for 85% chance of rain on Saturday, so it's probably going to turn to snow.
Lynn, same 2 inches of snow in Iowa over the weekend. That's just not happening. All right, boys. Well, let's get started with this stuff. Now that we've talked about nonsense and spending money, which is crazy.
I know. Right?
But listen, let's start with college football. Rankings came out, boys. Rankings came out. Give me your thoughts on this, because I got some thoughts. And but I want to hear from you guys first on what you guys think of the rankings. We got Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Florida State 4. Washington 3, Florida State 4, Oregon 5, Ohio State drops to number 6. Mm-hmm. They go from number 2 to number 6. So what do you guys think?
I think it's right. I think Ohio State should have dropped to where they dropped. I actually thought they might even drop to 7 and put Texas ahead of them and put Ohio State in between Texas and Alabama. But I think that's pretty good. I think the 4 that are up there are the most deserving 4 right now with where things are at. I was worried about Florida State early in that Florida game, but they kind of turned things around. And as long as they're winning, that should be, that's what a lot of them go by. As long as you don't lose, you should be all right. So,
but we'll see. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I think that the top 4 are right, because in my mind, if you're undefeated and you're one of the only 4 left undefeated teams in the country, I think that it should be the top 4, especially when it's still the ACC. I know it's not the strongest conference that's out there, in terms of strength of schedule, but when you look at the Florida State-Florida game, in a rivalry game, form goes out the window. A rivalry, I mean, they had to go to Florida. They had to go to the swamp. They had to play with a quarterback that hadn't played all season, and they got the job done. Was it pretty? No, but they got the job done. So credit to Florida State, and they deserve to be in that 4 spot. But I have no qualms with the top 4.
Yep. And I think Oregon is poised to jump in if Oregon's got to play Washington, so anything can change there. And then if Florida State loses the ACC championship game, that could flip things around a little bit depending on how bad it is or how that goes, because they've got to be itching to put Texas or Alabama in there somehow. So they're looking for a way for that to happen. And here's what I blow in that game, by the way.
Oh my God! Right at the end, all you
got is catch the ball, and the game's over.
Oh, so listen. Funny you say about they want to leave Alabama or Texas, right? But here's the thing: Ohio State is still number 6, right? So if Ohio State needs a lot of help, so let's just go with that, right? I do also agree. Top 4, no issues there. Ohio State number 6, they deserve it. They lost. It wasn't as bad a loss as as I thought it was going to be, but it was not bad. But here's how this goes: if the Georgia Bulldogs beat Alabama, if Florida State loses to Louisville, right? Texas loses to Oklahoma, and Washington beats Oregon, Ohio State's in the playoff.
And that's a scenario that could happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I think that's too many what ifs.
That's the problem. I think there's too many what ifs.
Yeah.
Also, it's not out of the realm of possibility, though.
No, it's no. 100%. Yeah. I think it's completely within the realm of possibility that it could happen. I just don't think Oregon is gonna lay down, and I think Oregon might just beat Washington this time around because they won at the end. Washington won at the end by crazy play. I don't think it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crazier things can happen. I mean, again, it's out of the realm of possibility, but because they're on the field together, what if Iowa beats Michigan? What does that do? Because now you got Michigan 1 loss in the championship game, Ohio State 1 loss, but to Michigan. Does Michigan fall out as well? And does Ohio State and Michigan both miss the playoff, depending on how the other games shape up?
True. I don't think Michigan's going to lose to Iowa.
No.
Let's.
I'm not thinking that either, but again, there's always crazy, weird things that happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right about that. There's always crazy things that could happen. So,
listen, if Iowa beats Michigan, let's move Iowa all the way up from 16 to 4, and let's put Iowa in the college football playoff just for Lynn Smith. Just for Lynn.
I like Mike Sellers. If Georgia, Michigan, Oregon win, and Florida State and Texas lose, do you think Oregon and Washington could both make? Well, Washington's already in the top 4, right? So, my thing is that if I say Michigan, Georgia are in already, you know what I'm saying? Those 2 teams are in. What is going on? Did you guys see that? I got balloons all over me. What in the world?
It's a celebration.
Did your daughter just come in and release balloons? What's going on?
I think so. She's supposed to be sleeping.
Georgia,
Michigan. I don't want to say Georgia as a shoe-in because that Alabama Georgia is going to be interesting.
Yep.
I think back to what Mike's asking. I think if Oregon wins, that you back to what you said, Ed. It's possible they put Ohio State back in there and drop Washington out.
Because exactly, I think so.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting.
God, I just want to see chaos. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just want to see
that's going to
chaos.
be interesting though, because if you're comparing Ohio State and Washington, if Washington's only loss is to Oregon, who gets in, but then Ohio State's only loss is to Michigan, to me, they're all right there in the reckoning, right there together. So who does the committee value more in terms of strength of schedule? Is it in that scenario? Is it Washington or is it Florida State? It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would probably be the Big Ten just based on traditional powerhouse conferences. But if it were me, I would choose Washington personally, having to play Oregon twice. And they've already beaten Oregon, so that's already on their resume. So,
yeah, but who else has they really beaten besides that? Is my question.
Who else has Florida State beaten?
Nobody.
I don't rate Penn State. I was going to say I don't rate Penn State as highly as some other people seem to. So
they beat Clemson. So
Clemson is in the top 25. Okay, so
no, we're not.
Yeah,
no, you guys fell out.
Yeah, we won our rivalry game, and we're not in the coaches poll or the college playoff top 25 anymore. We're at 27.
No, you are.
Are we?
Yeah, you're
23.
You're 23.
Well, what did I look at earlier? I thought they dropped us out further. My bad.
No.
Okay.
No, you're
8-4.
You're keeping out Liberty. You're keeping Liberty at bay.
Yeah.
Another undefeated team. There it is. There's another undefeated team in
That's
the
right. I forgot about
So
they survived. They survived Hugh Freeze leaving.
I don't want chaos. I don't want Ohio State or Alabama to have any shot at getting in there. So I don't want any chaos. I'm okay with Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State. So.
Okay, so it's better for Ohio State if Washington wins. If Oregon wins, then both Pac-12 teams will be in 12-1 and are both currently ahead of Ohio State. So Ohio State fans should definitely want Washington to win. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Ohio State's got to be pulling for Louisville right now because if Florida State loses, they could jump back into that 4th spot, especially if Washington beats Oregon. That gives Oregon 2 losses. And then Ohio State can sneak back in at number 4 if Florida State loses.
Listen, Florida State loses and Oregon loses. If both Oregon and Florida State lose, Ohio State moves up.
I think you're probably right on that. Although I want to see Florida State.
And then that becomes Mike Sellers' worst nightmare. Ohio State plays Georgia in the first game.
Oh,
What? That's
one.
called the Mike Sellers Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the Chili Man Bowl.
the Chili Man Bowl. There it
The Chili
is.
Bowl.
Chili Man Bowl.
The Chili
Hormel
Bowl.
Chili Bowl.
Bowl.
Yeah. Oh man.
Chili Bowl.
See, I know what you're saying, though. Donnie, you just don't want to see chaos because you want to see Ohio State out, and you want to, you know what I mean, and you want to see all these other state, Texas out or Alabama out, right? You want some new blood, right? I'm with you there. I'm 100% with you there. I just want to see chaos just for the sake of chaos, because it'll be so much more fun to talk about, and then
it will be, because it'd be funny to see what the committee does if Alabama beats Georgia, Iowa's not going to beat Michigan. But if Oregon wins over Washington, Florida State loses, then that really does throw everything into a loop. Because
that's
Michigan
what I'm saying, right?
Move to number 1 because they're not going to lose to Iowa, and then everybody else will get shuffled around, and then it's really going to be interesting. Oh
God, I just want to see because I know there's going to be so many people that are just going to be so pissed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even after all of that, then if all of that happens, and then Ohio State still doesn't make it, I will die laughing.
Yeah.
I would die laughing.
Don't get me wrong. Dark horse scenario.
Oh yeah, what's the dark horse scenario?
What if Georgia loses and then Kent State vaults into the top 25 and goes into the top 4, and Kent State is in the college football playoff?
Bro, Kent State is not even bowl eligible, man. Kent State is not bowl eligible.
That's why I'm calling it the dark horse candidate.
That's it. This is not dark horse. This is a dead horse candidate. They're dead.
I actually thought he was going to throw out a scenario that got LSU in there. I was really surprised he went Kent State.
Listen, at 9-3, there's no scenario that I can throw out there that's going to put LSU in there, because against a top 14, they're going to give up 57 points with that defense. So Jaden Daniels will put up 50, but then the defense will give up 57. So
Virgil, you are out of your mind.
That's wow.
Although I honestly, I don't doubt it. I'll be honest with you.
I'm not sure
I'm kidding, Virgil. I'm kidding. You're probably right.
Something there.
If Ohio State, because Ohio State's already idle. They're done.
Right. So, but if Texas wins, and the other scenarios we talked about, if Georgia loses, Washington loses, Florida State loses, Texas wins the Big 12, they may jump Ohio State into that shuffle somehow.
Oh, yeah. Well, they could most definitely happen. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that would be an interesting matchup if Texas got in for Steve Sarkisian in his former school again. That would be really, really interesting.
If 131 of 132 other FBA teams suddenly get postseason bans, then Kent State will have to play the Natty. Listen, it's how it goes. Doubt it.
Hey.
I highly doubt it. Listen, I will be.
The NCAA is capable.
True. That is true. They are capable of doing just about anything. They don't care. Alabama must lose. I'm sick. I think everybody's already kind of tired of Alabama. You know what I mean? And they just don't want to see Alabama make it to any college football playoff. I think they're like, and Virgil was like, but if 131 teams are banned, who would they play against? So it's like, well, there you go. Automatically champions is what I say. They win by default. But then don't bring me any, Division II or Division III, because then definitely Kent State will lose. Listen, Kent State is not a good team this year, guys. I'm not going to lie. They are not a good team. I feel bad saying that because it's my alma mater, but they're not going to win. That's just how that goes.
They should change their name to the Fighting Dad Hats.
That'll be kind of cool. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. All right, boys. Let's talk a little bit NFL football. Let's move on to NFL football. A couple of things happened during the games, but what I want to first get started with is the fact that Let's start with, and Donnie, this is going to be, I'm going to start with you, but I want to get your thoughts on the hot mess that is your team, my friend. I mean, they fired their head coach, they fired their quarterbacks coach, and they fired their running backs coach. And now they have the special teams coach as the interim head coach. And then to top it all off, Tapper came today into the press conference saying that he was the one that wanted CJ Stroud and not Bryce Young.
Oh, he said that? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, he did, my friend.
I did hear that he said at the conference or the press conference that he was a patient man. And I really was like, really? A patient? You're not very patient in my mind.
Patient what? To a mental hospital?
I don't know. It was funny. They had one of the Dan Patrick show had one of the reporters for Charlotte Observer on this morning.
Yep.
They wouldn't let that guy ask his question. He raised his hand the entire time. He's been critical of Tepper. They wouldn't call on him to ask his question. And he's the one that pointed out that Tepper said how he was a patient man in his other businesses, and he's been as patient as he could be with this. I'm like, really? I don't think so. No, I don't know. I don't like him as an owner. There's a lot of things that he apparently does pretty good in outside of running the team, but well, like I texted you earlier, I mean, he did the city of Rock Hill really wrong. They spent a lot of money. State of South Carolina spent a lot of money trying to get that practice facility together for him. A lot of tax incentives and everything. They even built a freaking new exit.
I saw that, yeah.
And then he pulls out of the whole deal. Says that his real estate holdings division is bankrupt and that they wouldn't be able to come up with the money to pay for their part of it. It's like, dude, you're a billionaire. How can you be bankrupt?
Yeah, it's just something about that whole situation with him. It's just something fishy, right? He's and as a Browns fan, I'm going to say this. I think the you know what I'm going with this, right? So they have become the new Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
the Charlotte, the Carolina Panthers, right? They've become the new Cleveland Browns.
I don't know what he's looking for. I mean, he didn't give Frank Reich really a chance.
You didn't give him a chance at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think anytime you get a new coach, you got to let your coach do coaching. You're not giving him the weapons. You've traded away draft picks. I mean, just think if they would have kept McCaffrey and DJ Moore and went with anybody else at quarterback other than Bryce Young, they'd probably be more competitive right now. I just don't know. I don't get it. Just very disappointed how the team's been run ever since Richardson's had to sell.
Yeah, it was just a bad thing. It was just I'm looking at it and I'm like, what are we even doing? Right? I mean, you fire him. He's the shortest tenure coach, in what, since 1940, I think, or some crazy stat like that.
I did take a snapshot of that earlier because I thought that was funny too. He's the only less tenured coach is Pete McCulley for the 49ers, and I don't even know who that is. 9
Neither
games.
do I.
George Allen only lasted 2 preseason games with the LA Rams, and Belichick's 1 day with the Jets. Those are the only other ones less tenured. But I did find it funny. There's 3 coaches that only lasted 13 games in their NFL career, and they're all former college coaches. They're all tied at 13 games. Lou Holtz, Bobby Petrino, and Urban Meyer.
Sheesh. That's so bad.
Yeah, I just don't know. Tepper's one of those guys that's kind of like a Jerry Jones. He thinks he knows a lot. He tries to be too involved and doesn't just let his people do the football thing.
Yeah, just stay out of it. Right?
Yeah.
Just stay out of it. And let the football people do their thing.
Yeah.
The problem is now, whether he wants to admit it or not, they're going to be in a state of mediocrity for a couple of years because they have no picks.
Right.
And who wants to go there? We were just talking about this on this morning when I was watching some TV while I'm making breakfast and everything. It's like this job is not an enticing job for a lot of people, right? You're probably going to get some new young candidate that's going to be like, yeah, let's get in there, right? that's gonna, want to have an opportunity to become a coach, or someone who's already an older quarterback, an older coach that's ready to get paid, because Tepper's gonna have to pay out the yin for a coach now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to want to go there if they got a short leash. I mean, Frank Reich's going to walk away with 30-something million in his pocket for 9 months worth of work. So good for him. But I mean, I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if he's looking for a young coordinator, like, the next McVay or Shanahan type guy that's out there, coordinator that can jump in and just like light fire under this team. But you're right. There's nothing he can do with Hoodie Jr. There's nothing he can do with the talent they've got. They've got nobody else left to trade for picks, and they have no picks to use in high draft picks. So they've got to find some talent somewhere in the middle rounds, and they got to have a coach that can do something with a lot less than most people.
True.
And the thing about Tepper is this: I think he's owned the Panthers for about 5 years.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And he's also the owner of the soccer team Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, he's fired 5 coaches between Charlotte FC and the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
So what does that tell you? Does that really tell you?
He could tell you till he is blue in the face that he is a patient man. He is not a patient man. That's just not happening.
No, I mean he's already paying off expensive mistakes with the Matt Rule experiment. That went wrong. He's now paying off Frank Reich, and it's just going to be interesting to see which way he goes. I think he made a mistake last year when he didn't promote Steve Wilkes to head coach, because that's the last coach that's that's really stabilized that team since the run in the Cam Newton days. So it's I don't know. I don't know which way you go, but he's paying out a lot of money for people that are not helping out the Panthers organization.
Okay, because he bankrupted the facility on South Carolina, so he still has that money that he's going to be able to write off and pay off all those coaches that he's fired.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
and it pains me to say this because, listen, as a Browns fan, I know the pain that Panthers fans are going through right now. Like, I mean, since '99, my team has been absolutely shit.
Bring back Tim Couch.
I feel bad for him, actually. He got screwed a lot. How about Iowa's soon-to-be former OC, Brian Ferentz? Let's not talk about Iowa.
We don't need an Iowa offense.
Yeah, exactly.
So is what you're saying his dad can't save him?
Nope.
Oh, he can't, but
So, boys, I got the tally here of how we did in our scores. Well, when it comes to the over/under, neither you, Patrick, or Wise hit it. So you, Donnie,
among
you
other
had
things.
Packers. True story. Packers, Dolphins. You had the under that went over. And then let's see here. You, my friend Patrick, you had the under as well for, I want to say, I'm trying.
You scribbled it so much I couldn't even see what the game was.
I couldn't see it.
Dolphins,
the Dolphins game.
And I originally said over. I should have gone with my gut.
Yep. You had it over, and then you changed it to under. You went with and then boom, done.
I was influenced by the mayor.
Yeah, you were. Browns Broncos is I said over, and they did, but not by a lot. And it was all on the Broncos side because the Browns, they were bad. Offensively, they were bad.
They were.
DTR sucked. Then backup quarterback sucked. And then now we're sitting here talking about the Browns. A week before they were doing absolutely wonderful. Then they come back and lay an egg. And now they're talking about putting Joe Flacco as starting quarterback this week.
The ageless wonder is back.
The football gods just told the Browns to calm the hell down. You guys still suck. That's what happened.
Oh man.
Yeah, the football gods basically are like, okay, you're starting quarterbacks out. All right, we're gonna let you play this rookie, and we're gonna hurt him too, so he can't do anything.
And that was a bad penalty.
Yeah.
That dude led with the crown of his head. I don't want to hear like about. I saw a lot of comments. I was like, oh, that wasn't headhunting. No, that was headhunting. There was a couple of plays in which the defenders led with the head of the crown of the head. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The Browns lost that game fair and square. Like they lost it. They sucked. So, give me your thoughts on your most surprising game for you guys, as far as the games that you guys thought like there's no way this happened.
Oh man. Well, I was shocked the Giants won. I'll tell you that. I don't know. That was terribly shocking because they weren't really playing anybody either. But
they were playing the Patriots. I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
I was not either. I think I picked the Giants to win that one.
Did you?
Well, three of us did.
Yeah. I was surprised at the Packers-Lions game. I was really expecting a better performance from the Lions.
So was I.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Love actually played well in that game, so I was definitely shocked.
I was shocked at that one. The Eagles-Bills game was. That was a wild game.
That was a good game. That was a really good.
It was
back and forth game right there.
And last night's game was an absolute barn burner, huh?
Best game of the weekend.
Jesus. Oh
Best game of the weekend. That was fitting for a Monday night football game.
It was so bad, guys.
Can we reschedule that for next season too?
It could happen. It could definitely happen.
Yeah. Can we also fire every player from those teams except for Josh Dobbs and then and then start again?
Dude, but did you see that he's not commit? He does not know if he's going to put Josh Dobbs as starting next week.
Really?
Yeah.
How is all this his fault? I don't get that.
I don't either.
I mean, I know he's not playing as well as he did, but I mean, surely this isn't all on Josh Dobbs.
Oh my God, no way.
The Vikings were terrible before Josh Dobbs got there. He's working with nothing. He's worked with nothing all season.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm also shocked that the Jets scored 13 points.
Yeah, he just came in on fire, and I guess all of a sudden the fire sort of dimmed a little, and it's like, oh, we got to move on. Like, really? No, you don't.
They shouldn't bench Dobbs, but Dobbs was terrible last night. No, absolutely. He didn't play as good. There were some throws that he should have taken back. Like there was a couple where the wide receivers had it in their hands and just like went right through their hands. I don't know what was going on,
Well, I think the thing is they took advantage of his still being new with the offense, and they know he's having to kind of go through certain progressions. And some of these veteran DBs, they just jumped some routes on him too, and came off of guys that he didn't expect them to come off of. And
even with all of that, they still had a chance to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of
how
the
bad the Bears are.
This is the one thing that a lot of people miss is that once they have a couple of games of tape on you, I don't care who you are, especially at quarterback, they see the tendencies, and it doesn't take veteran guys long to say, okay, if he does this, this is what he's doing, and they look for that. And the smart ones can do it.
I agree, Eric. He the whole team didn't play, and they still had a chance to win at the end, right? I mean, I don't know what the defense was doing by not blitzing right there at the end when they should have been blitzing. Everybody saw it. Even Joe Buck was like, and I usually don't agree with Joe Buck, but he was like, I was just flabbergasted at the fact that like you just letting them score on you.
Right.
Yeah.
All they needed was a field goal.
Yeah.
So it was just all sorts of bad. The Dolphins beating the Jets, not surprised there. Right. I mean, it's just that was not a big surprise. Cowboys over the Commanders. Commanders are not good. They're going to be looking for a new head coach. Ron Rivera is out. Sad because I really do like Ron Rivera as a head coach there. But 49ers over the Seahawks, 31-13. I was expecting the Seahawks to do a little bit better, but I did know that also Geno Smith was injured the last week, and then obviously that affected him during this week.
Man, I was shocked that the Colts beat the Buccaneers. I mean,
no, you didn't because you had them on your list.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
They were given
See,
no
this is what
chance on the previous episode of this show.
This is what happens when I talk good about Baker Mayfield. This is what happens. I say something good about Baker Mayfield, and then he goes, "Hold my beer. I'm going to prove you wrong."
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the football gods, and the Colts aren't allowed to have nice things because now Jonathan Taylor is going to be out for a couple weeks having thumb surgery. That's what happens when you pay him.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, he just came back. I'm like, luckily we've got Moss as a backup, but who already has a couple 100-yard games this season, Zach Moss. But after you've just paid Jonathan Taylor all that money and he's already getting injured again. He hasn't even played. He missed the first 4 weeks because he was physically unable to perform. So, and now he's, yeah. In other words, I wasn't getting paid. And now he's already going down for thumb surgery. It's like, this is why you don't pay running backs.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
I'm going to give you guys one game that I was surprised at.
Colts Buccaneers?
No.
Okay.
Broncos Browns.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't want to give Sean Payton his flowers, but has he started to figure out this team a little bit and at least getting through the season, working with what he has, and he's getting them back to a respectable
Is Russ cooking again?
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know. He played pretty good.
I don't think he's all the way back yet. I don't know. He certainly has improved. He's much better this season than last season. He's been progressing every week. But
I think he and Sean Payton have found the right balance between the two of them because I think Payton came in and tried to make Russ do things a certain way that didn't fit him. And he didn't want to let Russ do what Russ does. And I think it's taken them this long to sort of balance out a little bit of both.
Russ is boiling water. I like that one, Brett. That was a good one, Brett.
I think it's a combination of Russ is taking what Sean's given him, but Peyton's given him the flexibility to kind of adjust on the fly a little bit as well.
Yeah.
He's respecting his football IQ.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think Russ is forcing the ball as much as he was before, right? Like, I mean, he goes like, all right, just go with the checkdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go with what, like take those chunk change right there, those chunk yardage, those keep adding up, right? And then what happens is your defense gets tired quicker.
Yep.
So I'm totally okay with just like, all right, here and there, 5 yards here, 7 here, 3 here. You're progressing.
He's also reading coverage better because earlier in the season, I mean, he was not even reading like simple coverage, defensive coverage plays, and he was throwing the ball and he was just giving the ball away needlessly. And now he's learning again to just use his common sense and use the football IQ that he has because you don't just lose that.
Yeah.
And so I think that what he's done is he's gone back to the basics, and that's a really good thing for him at this point because he needs to build back up to rebuild that confidence.
100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I think they could be a very dangerous team next year, depending on who they keep and who they lose.
Yeah,
because they were trying to shop Sutton around, and it's a good thing they didn't because he's a hell of a receiver.
We have one in Judy as well.
Judy too. I mean, they've got some solid guys. They've got a good foundation. And if they start figuring it out here at the end of the season and roll that into next year with some additions, they could be very formidable next year. They give Kansas City a run for their money next year for sure.
And the defense has started playing up to their capabilities because going into the season, that was one part of the game that you thought that they would excel at was their defense. But to start the season, we were talking about the defensive coordinator being fired, and or at least that was some of the rumors. And then now in the last about 3-4 weeks, they've really started to come back and play like we know they can play. So.
Right.
Lynn, I think I like that 10-7. I think that's where they'll end up. They'll miss the playoffs, but it's not a bad one. And as far as the rest of the teams, like Kansas City is the one team that I'm having a hard time believing in this team. I I don't see how the last year they were a very dangerous team. This year, I just can't believe in them. Just like I can't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I still don't believe in them. Yes, they're 7-4. They're ahead of the Cleveland Browns right now. I just don't believe in them. Baltimore, I hate to say this, but man, that's a dangerous team.
Yeah.
But they're another team that, I mean, I think they're better than the Chiefs, but the Ravens, I've said repeatedly this season, like, what team are you going to get this week?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had an up and down season themselves. When they're playing well and when Lamar is at his best, they're very dangerous. But they play down to their competition sometimes.
And so those can't
the Chargers. They should have
100%.
Well, a middle school team could kill the Chargers right now. Look who's coaching them.
Right.
How does that man still have a job? I keep saying that every week.
He's going to keep it until the end of the year. He's going to keep it until the end of the year.
I guess because San Diego doesn't fire mid-season. I mean, the last time,
which is a good thing. That at least they're showing a little bit of stability there, right?
Well,
unlike
and they did it a couple
teams.
times. They did it with Marty Schottenheimer and they did it with North Turner.
Yeah,
right.
Those were hopeless seasons at that point. So.
Yeah. So I mean, Chargers can still kind of do something. Because never mind.
Not with the head coach they have, they can't.
No, they can't. KC is just playing dumb right now. All at will wins collars. Yeah, ball in the playoffs. So
yeah, one of the things I noticed in their game, and it drove me nuts, just because from a fantasy standpoint, I have Kelsey in the league. I mean, he does, other than Kelsey, he doesn't really have any other weapons. I mean, he's
just wide receivers are not good.
And he kept trying to go to that Watson kid all game. And it's like, why is he focused on that guy? And the guy couldn't catch the ball. It's like he doesn't have – he's as much as they won't admit it, he's missing that Tyreek Hill kind of guy. Or even when they had Sammy Watkins or somebody out there that could kind of stretch the field, they don't really.
Dare I say also, he's in New England now.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
Juju,
yeah. Who would you have ever thought that you'd see a team was missing Juju Smith-Schuster?
That's right.
I know I didn't.
He just doesn't have. I mean, the running game's okay, but it's not what it used to be. Although it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty solid at times, but he doesn't have enough weapons on the outside to throw the ball around, and he keeps trying to feed it into guys. He keeps trying to overthink the Kelsey thing and go away from Kelsey because everybody thinks that's where it's going. And then when he goes back to Kelsey, it just blows.
Kelsey is the type of player that you need to give him the ball, in order for him to get hot.
Yeah, you got to keep throwing to him. Pacheco is solid.
But has Mahomes, Pacheco, Kelsey, and Bucker all on his fantasy team.
Yeah,
Donnie,
I put a hurt on him this week. So.
Yeah, you did. You put a hurt in bad. It was not good. So,
Donnie, I think the reason that Mahomes is throwing to all the rookie receivers is because he knows better than to throw to Kadarius Toney. Yeah,
there you go.
Because I wouldn't either. Oh.
Right.
So, all right, boys, let's end this show. We're here at the top of the hour, it's 8:58. But I want to end the show with some good news. And the good news that I want to talk about is the Oakland Bees. Right? Oakland is getting a new team. It's independent, right? In the Pioneer League. Granted, Eric did point out that there is going to be some traveling for that team. Because, my God, there's not a lot of teams near them at all right now. But at the very least, I like the logo. I like the color scheme. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that, somebody says, no, we want to keep a team there in Oakland, and they just showed up, and I think that's cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Oakland suffered nothing but losses in terms of, and I'm not even talking on the field. I'm talking, you lost the Raiders, you lost the Golden State Warriors to San Francisco. And now you're losing the Oakland A's to Vegas. So it must be nice to really come into news that you're getting a team, because Oakland has some really good baseball fans. And
I feel bad for all of them.
Yeah, they have good sports fans in general. I mean, there's a lot of passionate fans there, and the town deserves to have some team that they can root for. And I think the Oakland Ballers are going to be balling, and the Pioneer League better be ready because they're ready for some home run derbies. They're ready, they're ready to win some ball games in 2024.
I hope so. I hope they hear. I hope they ball out. I hope you said I put their closest right right shot calling. I think their closest team is 20 hours.
Ooh.
Closest team is 20 hours away, boys.
I hope they've got a rich owner for independent professional league standards.
Doubt it. That's a lot. That's a long bus ride, boys.
It is.
That is a long bus ride.
Unless he's got some kind of deal with some airline out of Oakland.
Out of the regional airport, So we'll rent out that big ass ballpark that no one wants to be there. They already are used to having only 2,500 fans there. So
that's the truth.
We're good there. Mike Seller, there's going to be another expansion team in Northern California.
Doesn't take away from the travel, though. They're not going to exclusively play one team in Northern California.
No, there's no way.
So,
no. We'll see. I mean, good for the Pioneer League, though, right? Like, I mean, the Pioneer League says, like, hey, let's go ahead. We have a market that is on tap now. Like, there's nothing there. We can go in there and provide some excitement for the team. Like, Brett says, right? Oakland Ballers, those fans need to show out now, right?
Right.
So, I like that, right? Missoula GM, the Grand Junction, right? So, I mean, you're right, Mike. It's going to help, right? Yes, it will help that there's a team in Northern California, but you still need more than one team to play, in a baseball season, right? 10 hours away, they're 20 hours from Rocky Mountain Vibe. So, I mean, that's a lot of driving. I'm not trying to poo-poo this. I think, like I said, I'm all on this. I'm all on the Ballers. I'm waiting for them to get a deadhead, and then I'll support that way. But it's like you guys are already behind the 8 ball because it's going to be very difficult travel, right? Because if you're traveling for a whole month. And like once you leave, you're leaving, and you're not coming back for a long time.
Yeah, you got to take off and do a long, like at least a couple of weeks. You're gone, and then you come back home for everybody to come out there, which is going to be just as bad for the other teams having to go all the way out there too.
Yep.
Yeah. And we know that can be an issue because I'm trying to remember I think it was probably the Earn Fun Average podcast where they interviewed the owner of the Spuds.
Yep.
Now the Casper Spuds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because one of the reasons that they had to move was because Caldwell was not a bad place for them, in Idaho. It's just that they couldn't afford the traveling, and the long bus rides that they had to go from place to place. So, yeah.
Patrick, did you say if you got ahead already of the Oakland Bees? No, actually, you know what, Eric? Patrick and I were talking about that before the show started, that we were talking about they have a snapback hat. We don't know who the provider is, like who the maker is. I know it is through Oaklandish, that company, right? So they have a hoodie, a t-shirt, they have a snapback hat, but I haven't seen anything else as far as what else are they going to be selling. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if they were going to release a fitted hat in time. So I'm trying to gather that information before I make a decision on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, it's still early on, right? I mean, we're still and we're not even in December just yet. So It's going to be a while before there's going to be more news and things like that is going to come out. So we'll see. Speaking of news, Northwest Arkansas are going to be releasing something on the 16th. Yep.
And Lansing Lugnuts are releasing something on Thursday.
That is true. That's right. Okay. 2 hats.
2 hats.
One of them is going to be Marvel, different color scheme.
Probably. And it looks like it's probably going to be a batting practice hat because they used to have a batting practice hat with Luggy, the Luggy face, and it was red and black. So I'm wondering if it's a new batting
practice. I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed that was not in the rotation that they were showing, but the Marvel hat was. So
but was that last year's Marvel hat or this year's Marvel?
It was last year's Marvel hat that they were showing.
Right, everybody's doing new color schemes for next year.
Yep.
I can't. They should do away with Marvel. It's just a failed experiment. Not gonna lie.
Well, Lansing, to their credit, probably did one of the best jobs of any team out there. I really thought that they did a great job with it. Not everyone did.
No,
Oklahoma City Dodgers, but
Oklahoma Lake County Captains. Lake County Captains had a bad one.
I love the Fireflies Marvel logo of the Firefly. I wish they'd have that going forward, just non-Marvel related, just as a regular hat, because that is a really cool design of the Firefly logo.
When are the Fireflies going to be playing as the Mayors and have a Donnie Wise logo on their hat?
Travel in Independence League caused North Platte Plainsmen and Western Nebraska Pioneers to go independent in college summer league.
Yeah, sure did.
Marvel flopped in 2023. So true.
Yeah,
so true. In the release video, one of the players was a former Wind Surge player that made it up to the St. Paul. I hope to see BJ Boyd play for the Ballers.
So I guess we know Prophet Palooza is going to Oakland now.
Yeah, right. We're going back. Going back, baby.
Prophet Palooza is going back to California.
North Platte will get a new team in 2024. Jesus, they should stop already. Boys, again, we're over. It's over again. Another fun hour plus, actually, of us talking sports and talking some baseball. It feels good to, it fills my heart, with nothing but joy when we talk about minor league baseball. We talk hats and talk all that stuff. So, so let me ask you guys, as far as you, Patrick, what you got going on with your head history, my friend?
Yeah. So a new video out tomorrow. Tomorrow, a new video out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Staten Island Ferry Hawks.
Oh,
nice. Yeah. So we're going, so we're going to go independent this time.
We go indie. I love it.
We're going indie and got a few nice hats to show off. And, you probably heard a little bit about that already, because if you've listened to the Baseball by Design podcast by our good friend Paul Caputo, he gave you a really good deep dive into it. This is obviously not as deep of a dive as Mr. Caputo can do, but still,
let's not give that guy some credit. What a loser!
You come to see the hats anyway, so we so that's going to be dropping tomorrow morning, and would love to know what y'all think about it, and thanks for always checking out the videos.
Love it.
Certainly.
Donnie, you're in my old stomping ground, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay warm.
You might want to sleep with some long johns, just to keep
I brought 2 extra quilted blankets with me this time.
You're a good man. You're a smart man, because the hotels, they don't have nothing good when it comes to that. No. Or just crank up the heat and you'll be all right.
Yeah,
there you
exactly.
Go.
But then you'll be, dry skin. So
that's right.
And as far as the That Hat Chronicles, the podcast, obviously this week we end my conversation with Eric and this other guy. I can't put my name on his. I think it's Mike something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Up to Chat podcast. Seriously though, Up to Chat podcast, and then the Earn for an Average podcast. Great podcast. Make sure you guys are following them and subscribe to their podcast. It's really good. They do a really good job, except for Mike Sellers. Totally kidding, Mike. Totally kidding. I love you, buddy. And then until then, guys, always support to my leagues, and then we will see you guys Thursday when we make our picks again, and we flop as always.
Don't bet with us.